Dr. BCW with Beyond Clinical Walls. I am so excited to introduce you to Ivan Ting. He is an influential, amazing man who is not only a world traveler, an amazing chef, and just connoisseur of food and wine, as well as an expert with skiing and so much more. And so I am here today at the Evelin Resort, and it is a pleasure for me to introduce you to him because I'm excited for you to know more about why he does what he does. So welcome, Ivan, to the show. I'm so excited to get to know you and so forth. So I shared a little bit about you, but I'd love for the listeners to learn more about you.
Okay, so thank you for that kind introduction. My name is Ivan, and born and raised in Hong Kong, and but studied in the States for during high school and college. Been coming to Palisades, Tahoe for the past, I think, 30 years now. So learned skiing when I was young and continue to like it. The other, you mentioned that I like cooking. I'm not sure if I'm a chef, but I do like cooking. But more importantly, because I like to eat what I cook. So that's one of the reasons. And then yeah, and I love traveling around to different cultures, to taste different things, and to see different aspects of people's lives.
Excellent. Well, when I was getting to know you and doing the research, when I saw your love and passion for food, I was really intrigued because when we talk about food, I think we often forget how food is often associated with celebratory moments, sad moments. And so when you pour love into whatever you're making for someone to eat and really have a healthy lifestyle, I think it's really important for us to kind of talk about that. So tell me more about your love for just food and cooking and so forth.
So I think I like eating it from the very young age. And one of the most memorable kind of cuisines I love is the Teppanyaki. And I remember going to the Benihanas of the world and then seeing how they cook. Even though it was a performance in some of them, but that kind of showed me how to do some sort of skills in cooking, like cutting a prawn. But then I just slowly, as I went to boarding school and then college, and you slowly had to, the enjoyment came along with it as well. So and that's how I got into it, and then I didn't study it, but it's more to with the prep kitchens or the performance or the show kitchens, you can kind of pick up some skills here and there.
Well, the reason I like to bring that in, because you never know who's listening. There might be someone who's listening right now who may not have been trained in cooking, but knows they love to eat. They know they like this. And I think when people get to hear those stories, it can sometimes be the kind of like ignition to think, oh, I should pursue that. And so I think it's really neat for people to hear that. Now with skiing, can you share more about your love with skiing and how did you fall in love with skiing?
Okay, so fortunately, when I was young, we would always go to Japan first for skiing, and so I started when I was 3. But and I was always a mediocre skier up until I think even after throughout college. One of the reasons why I love Palisades Tahoe was because first graduated from college, I was able to stay here for a couple of months.
Oh, nice.
And then that's when I got to know some of the better skiers here, and they constantly challenged me. And I think that's when that love started. And it's a very counterintuitive a sport, and I think the challenge that you could do something that is a little bit beyond your comfort level is something that I think it builds confidence in myself in other things as well, and also enjoy the great outdoors.
So I'm going to bring a couple of
Yeah.
things together. When you talked about food and
Yeah.
your love and passion for that, and even the performance part, and then skiing, it's challenging, but it
Yeah.
kind of still helps you kind of pursue.
Yeah.
Would you say all of those areas, whether it's skiing or your love for food, how does that really become a part of your life with your business and so forth? All of those avenues, because as a physician,
Yeah.
I really encourage my patients to think about their mental and their physical health.
Yeah.
Because often you can have these great successes, you can be doing all of these wonderful things, but if you don't take care of your mental and your physical health with doing the passions that you love or enjoying those hobbies, you are not able to fulfill, all of those areas of your health. So
Right.
share with me those,
Okay.
what your thoughts are on that.
So maybe I'll go on a little bit of a tangent. So a few years back, actually, first of all, I didn't used to be fit. I was about 200 pounds in college. I was not eating very healthily. But a few years back, I actually got into a conference, and one of the things that um, they talked about was mental health and how you are supposed, how you can make yourself happier. And one of those tips was to, he gave a few, but one of the things that resonated with me was just to do 15 minutes of exercise a day. And so I started doing that since 2012, and but not just 15 minutes a day. So it started with swimming 15 minutes a day, to now I'm doing an hour of swimming or running every day, even if I go skiing. The reason is, first, it does help with the mental, like the endorphins, and one of the things that the person was telling me, there's happiness comes after you've earned something, instead of just, if you eat something, it's just a very short period of time. But happiness is, you have to, because you've earned it, then you actually, the duration is a lot longer. So for that, I remember, when I was first starting, I still now, when I'm doing it, there's always in the middle, I want to give up, right? I was like, oh, maybe today I could, stop.
skip
Yeah,
it
I
and
can
so
skip
forth.
it, or I could just do, 1 kilometer instead of 2. But I was like, no, you have to, you'll be happier if you finish. And so that's how this is something that I've been doing. And the other reason is because I eat a lot as well. So I need to do this too. So there's two benefits to that. And skiing helps. Yeah.
See, I think it's going to be really powerful for people to hear that story, because, there's so many challenges in life and we all have our own personal challenges. But to hear that it started with just one moment, one thing, and it turned into the ability to have this long lasting benefit for your mind and your physical health.
Yes.
Like, that is just an important,
It
amazing piece,
and you do feel a lot more refreshed every day. And actually now I'm addicted to it. If I don't do it, I'm like, ah.
Well, and I often share with my patients, it's that one moment, that one thing that if you can take that first step.
Yeah.
And often when we hear about different health conditions, whether it's hypertension, diabetes, and so forth, sometimes it can feel overwhelming, or if you want to lose weight or if you want to get fit. But just taking even one micro step can be the trajectory or the change that you need to really make that long-lasting change. And I think that's really neat for people to hear that, because someone right now listening will think about a personal challenge that they have, and then thinking about, okay, whether it's I'm just going to walk a half a block, or I'm going to do, a couple of steps in my house. That can change someone's life. So I love hearing about that.
I'm very grateful for hearing that during that conference.
Right. And then when we talk about happiness, because happiness can be fleeting sometimes, but finding something that can be consistent and allow that to kind of come through. Can you share with me, we talked about all the amazing hobbies and the things that you're doing, but share with me, like, with happiness, where does that come from in your life, in your family, in your work?
A few things. I think one of the reasons why we invested in, let's say, so I work in a family business, and our core business is actually in model trains.
I saw
So we
that.
do model
Yes.
trains. So other than model trains, we also used to make, OEM traditional toys for some big brands. And I think one of the things I love that we transitioned to just making model trains with our own brand is because I like the fact that I make a product that people appreciate. Model train enthusiasts are very critical, but they are also very passionate, and they tell you if you did a bad job, or they tell you if they did you could they really appreciate if you did a great job. So I love having that kind of feedback and satisfaction. So that's what drives me at work in the main core business. Here as well, I think I like the fact that when we get feedback from people, it's very important, and yeah, I guess I like the what's it called, the reaffirmation or affirmation of your work.
Well, and as we're speaking, I always look for common threads. And so you were sharing food, and then you were sharing about skiing, how that challenge of like being facing something that's difficult, but being able to kind of push against it. And then when I hear about, the sustainability, the love and happiness in your life, we say mental and physical health. I tell my patients, memorialize something that's important to you and take those steps. So just hearing your story and all of the things that you incorporate in your life, it has been fantastic to be able to amplify, highlight, but also get to know more about why you do what you do. And so this has been fantastic just to get to know you. Your story, your family story would be wonderful, and I think more people need to hear about it. This is Dr. BCW with Beyond Clinical Walls, and as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss my next upload. And if you found this information helpful, please hit the thumbs up. It really helps the channel. As always, thanks for watching and thank you for your support.